In the bustling control room of the Global Space Observation Network, GSLN, nestled deep within the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Samantha Chen's eyes widened as she stared at the holographic display before her. The pulsating red dot representing an alien scout ship blinked rapidly before vanishing entirely from the solar system map. "That's the third one this month," she muttered, her brow furrowing in concentration. "What in the world is going on out there?" As the lead astrophysicist for GSLN, Samantha had been tracking extraterrestrial activity around Earth for the past 5 years. The recent pattern of disappearing alien vessels was unlike anything she'd ever encountered. Captain Marcus Reeves, the military liaison to GSLN, leaned over her shoulder, his face a mask of concern. "Any theories, Dr. Chen? Because I'm running out of explanations for my superiors, and they're getting antsy." Samantha shook her head, her ponytail swaying with emotion. "Nothing concrete, I'm afraid. These ships aren't just going dark or changing course. They're literally vanishing from all our sensors. It's as if they're being erased from existence." The captain's jaw tightened. "That's impossible. Nothing just disappears." "In our current understanding of physics, you're right," Samantha agreed. "But we're dealing with civilizations potentially thousands of years more advanced than us. Who knows what they're capable of?" As if on cue, alarms blared throughout the facility. Technicians scrambled to their stations, fingers flying over holographic keyboards as they tried to make sense of the incoming data. Dr. Chen, a young analyst, called out, "We're detecting a massive energy signature entering the solar system. It's bigger than anything we've seen before." Samantha rushed to the main display, her heart pounding. The hologram shifted, revealing a colossal object moving steadily towards Earth. Unlike the scout ships, this vessel made no attempt to conceal itself. "My God," Captain Reeves breathed. "Is that what I think it is?" Samantha nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's a diplomatic vessel. They're done observing. They're coming to talk." The realization sent shockwaves through the control room. For years, humanity had been aware of alien presence in the solar system, but contact had been limited to distant observations and occasional unconfirmed sightings. This direct approach changed everything. "We need to inform the Security Council immediately," Reeves said, already reaching for his secure communication device. "The world needs to prepare for first contact." As the captain relayed the information to his superiors, Samantha couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something crucial. The disappearing scout ships, the sudden appearance of a diplomatic vessel, it all felt connected, yet maddeningly out of reach. "Dr. Chen," a soft voice broke through her thoughts. She turned to see Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the team's quantum physicist, standing nearby with a tablet in his hands. His usually calm demeanor was replaced by barely contained excitement. "I think I might have something," he said, his voice low. "But you're not going to believe it." Samantha followed Yuki to his workstation, where complex equations and simulations danced across multiple screens. "What am I looking at, Yuki?" The physicist took a deep breath. "I've been running some calculations based on the energy readings we've collected from the disappearance events. At first, I thought it was just background noise, but look here." He pointed to a series of repeating patterns in the data. "These fluctuations, they're not random, they're incredibly precise. Almost as if what?" Samantha pressed, her scientific curiosity overriding her apprehension. Yuki met her gaze, his eyes shining with a mix of fear and awe, as if something is deliberately moving these ships into another dimension. The implications of Yuki's statement hit Samantha like a thunderbolt. If he was right, it meant one of two equally astounding possibilities. Either the aliens possessed technology so advanced it could manipulate the fabric of reality itself, or— "Are you suggesting," she began, her voice barely above a whisper, "that we might be responsible for these disappearances?" Yuki nodded slowly. "I know it sounds crazy, but the math doesn't lie. These energy signatures bear a striking resemblance to theoretical models of human-developed quantum field manipulation. It's like someone took our most advanced physics theories and turned them into a reality. Before Samantha could respond, Captain Reeves approached, his face grim. Dr. Chen, we've received orders from the top. The Security Council is convening an emergency session, and they want you there to brief them on the situation. Samantha glanced at Yuki, silently communicating the need for discretion. Whatever was really going on, they needed more evidence before presenting such an outlandish theory to world leaders. Understood, Captain, she said, straightening her lab coat. I'll prepare a summary of our observations. As she gathered her notes and prepared to leave, Samantha couldn't shake the feeling that humanity was standing on the precipice of something monumental. The disappearing alien ships, the approaching diplomatic vessel, and now the possibility of Earth possessing reality-altering technology, it all pointed to a future beyond anything they had imagined. Dr. Chen, Captain Reeves called as she headed for the exit. Whatever's going on up there, whatever we're about to face, do you think we're ready? Samantha paused, considering the weight of the question. The fate of humanity might very well rest on how they handled the coming days. She thought of all the ingenuity, courage, and determination that had brought their species to this point, from the first steps on the moon to the unraveling of quantum mysteries. A small smile tugged at her lips as she turned to the captain. Ready or not, Captain, we're about to show the universe what humanity is truly capable of. As she stepped into the elevator that would take her to the surface, where a helicopter waited to whisk her to the UN, Samantha felt a surge of determination. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever cosmic dramas were about to unfold, she knew one thing for certain: humanity would face it head-on, with all the creativity, resilience, and sheer audacity that had defined their species throughout history. The doors closed, and as the elevator ascended, Samantha Chen prepared herself to help guide humanity into a new era, one where the stars themselves were no longer the limit. The United Nations Security Council chamber burst with tension as world leaders and their aides filed in, their faces etched with a mixture of anticipation and dread. Dr. Samantha Chen stood at the podium, her presentation ready, but her mind still reeling from the implications of Dr. Tanaka's discovery. As the last of the dignitaries took their seats, UN Secretary-General Adebayo Okonkwo stepped forward, his usually calm demeanor strained. Ladies and gentlemen, we face an unprecedented situation. Dr. Chen, please brief us on the latest developments. Samantha took a deep breath, her eyes scanning the room. Thank you, Mr. Secretary-General. As you're aware, we've detected a large alien diplomatic vessel entering our solar system. However, there's more to the story. She launched into an explanation of the vanishing scout ships, careful to stick to confirmed facts. As she spoke, she noticed a subtle exchange of glances between the US president and the Chinese premier. Something about their reaction nagged at her. Dr. Chen, the Russian president interrupted, "You're saying these ships simply disappear. That's impossible." Before Samantha could respond, a new voice cut through the chamber. "Not impossible, Madam President, just highly improbable." All eyes turned to see a man striding confidently into the room, flanked by security personnel. He was tall, with salt and pepper hair and piercing green eyes that sparkled with intelligence. "Dr. Victor Novak," he announced, nodding to the assembly. "Chief Scientist of Project Bifrost. I believe it's time we brought Dr. Chen into the fold." The room erupted into murmurs. Samantha's mind raced. Project Bifrost? She'd never heard of it, but from the reactions around her, it was clear this was something big. Secretary-General Okonkwo cleared his throat. "Dr. Novak, this is highly irregular. Project Bifrost is exactly what we need right now." The US president interjected, standing. "Dr. Chen, what we're about to share with you is classified at the highest level, but given the circumstances, you need to know." Over the next hour, Samantha listened in astonishment as Dr. Novak revealed the truth behind the vanishing alien ships. Project Bifrost, a top-secret international collaboration, had developed a technology beyond anything publicly known, a quantum field generator capable of shunting objects into parallel dimensions. We call it the quantum veil, Novak explained, his eyes gleaming with pride. It's been our insurance policy against potential hostile alien contact. When activated, it creates a localized field that shifts the target into a parallel reality. From our perspective, they simply vanish. Samantha's mind whirled with the implications. The disappearing scout ships, that was us. Novak nodded. Precisely. We've been testing the system, ensuring it works on alien technology. But now, with this diplomatic vessel approaching, we face a dilemma. The Chinese premier leaned forward. Do we reveal our capabilities and risk being seen as a threat? Or do we maintain secrecy and potentially miss a chance for peaceful contact? As the leaders debated, Samantha's thoughts drifted to Dr. Tanaka's calculations. Dr. Novak, she interjected, has your team considered the possibility of communication through the quantum field? Novak's eyebrows shot up. Communication. No, we've been focused on defense. Why do you ask? Samantha quickly explained Yuki's findings, watching as Novak's expression shifted from skepticism to excitement. Fascinating, he muttered. If we could establish communication with the displaced ships, it could change everything. The debate raged on, with arguments for both disclosure and continued secrecy. As Samantha listened, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in human ingenuity. They had managed to develop technology that could reshape reality itself, all in the name of protecting Earth. Finally, Secretary General Okonkwo called for a decision. We need a plan of action. The diplomatic vessel will reach Earth orbit in less than 48 hours. After a tense vote, a compromise was reached. They would not immediately reveal the quantum veil technology, but would prepare for the possibility. Dr. Chen and Dr. Novak were tasked with attempting to establish communication with the displaced alien ships, hoping to gauge their intentions and potentially gain allies. As the meeting adjourned, Samantha found herself walking alongside Dr. Novak. I still can't believe all of this, she admitted. It's like something out of science fiction. Novak chuckled. Dr. Chen, I have a feeling we're about to redefine what's possible. Humanity has always risen to the challenge when faced with the unknown. This is our moment to prove ourselves on a cosmic scale. They reached a secure elevator that would take them to the hidden Bifrost facility beneath the UN building. As the doors closed, Novak turned to Samantha, his expression serious. Dr. Chen, welcome to the team that's reshaping the universe. Are you ready to make history? Samantha felt a surge of determination. This was what she had worked for her entire career, the chance to push the boundaries of science and protect her planet. With a confident nod, she replied, absolutely. Let's show the cosmos what humanity can do. As the elevator descended into the unknown, Samantha couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. They were about to attempt communication across dimensions, all while an alien diplomatic mission approached Earth. The next 48 hours would determine humanity's place in the galactic community. Little did they know, their actions had already set in motion events that would challenge not just Earth, but the very fabric of the universe itself. As Project Bifrost prepared for first contact, the true test of human ingenuity and determination was about to begin. The elevator doors opened, revealing a vast underground complex humming with energy. Holographic displays filled the air, showing real-time data from the quantum veil and the approaching alien vessel. Scientists and military personnel moved with purpose, their faces a mix of tension and excitement. Dr. Novak led Samantha to a central platform where Dr. Tanaka was already working furiously on a complex array of quantum computers. Dr. Tanaka, Novak called out, your calculations were spot on. It's time to see if we can turn this defense system into a communication device. As the team began their work, alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. A technician's voice cut through the chaos. Incoming transmission from the alien vessel. They're requesting immediate communication. All eyes turned to the main screen as a message appeared, written in perfect English. People of Earth, we know what you've done. It's time we taught. The stage was set for a first contact that would change the course of human history forever. The tension in the Bifrost facility was palpable as the alien message lingered on the main screen. Dr. Samantha Chen exchanged worried glances with Dr. Novak and Dr. Tanaka. The aliens knew about the quantum veil, but how much did they really understand? "We need to respond," Secretary General Okonkwo's voice crackled through the communications system. "Dr. Novak, Dr. Chen, you'll lead the dialogue. Remember, the fate of humanity rests on this interaction." Samantha took a deep breath, steeling herself for what was to come. With a nod from Novak, she stepped forward and activated the transmission. "This is Dr. Samantha Chen of Earth. We're prepared to engage in peaceful dialogue. Can you clarify what you mean by what we've done?" There was a moment of static before a response came through. The voice was oddly melodic, with an otherworldly quality that sent shivers down Samantha's spine. "Greetings, Dr. Chen. I am Ambassador Zorax of the Galactic Confederation. Your quantum veil technology has not gone unnoticed. We've been aware of your dimensional manipulation for some time." Novak stepped forward, his face a mask of calm professionalism. "Ambassador, I'm Dr. Victor Novak, lead scientist on the Quantum Veil project. We assure you our intentions were purely defensive." A sound that might have been laughter came through the speakers. "Defensive? You've been randomly shunting our scout ships into parallel dimensions. Do you have any idea of the cosmic chaos you've been causing?" Samantha and Novak exchanged worried looks. They hadn't considered the broader implications of their actions across the multiverse. We didn't realize the full extent of our actions," Samantha admitted. "Ambassador, we're still new to this level of technology. Perhaps we could arrange a meeting to discuss this further." There was a pause before Zorax responded. "Agreed. We will send a delegation to your United Nations headquarters in one Earth rotation. Prepare your leaders. There is much to discuss." As the transmission ended, the facility erupted into a flurry of activity. Plans needed to be made, security protocols established, and world leaders briefed. Amidst the chaos, Dr. Tanaka approached Samantha and Novak, his eyes wide with excitement. "I've been analyzing the transmission," he said breathlessly. "The quantum signature of their communication technology, it's incredible. I think I can use it to establish contact with the displaced scout ships." Novak's eyebrows shot up. "That could be a game changer. If we can communicate with the ships we've displaced, maybe we can start to make amends." As the team worked tirelessly through the night, Samantha couldn't help but feel a mix of dread and exhilaration. They were on the cusp of a new era for humanity, but the stakes couldn't be higher. The next day, as world leaders gathered at the UN, an alien shuttle descended from the sky. The sleek, iridescent craft landed gracefully in front of the headquarters, drawing gasps from the assembled crowds and media. Ambassador Zorax emerged, flanked by two other alien beings. Their appearance was both familiar and utterly foreign, humanoid in basic shape, but with shimmering, color-shifting skin and eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies. As they approached the entrance, Samantha and Novak stepped forward to greet them. "Welcome to Earth, Ambassador," Samantha said, trying to keep her voice steady. Zorax's multifaceted eyes studied them intently. "Dr. Chen, Dr. Novak, your quantum veil is an impressive achievement for such a young species, but it has also created a crisis that threatens the stability of multiple realities." Inside the UN chamber, the aliens took their places at a specially prepared podium. The assembly fell silent as Zorax began to speak, his words translated in real time for all to understand. "People of Earth, you stand at a crossroads. Your ingenuity has crafted a technology that rivals that of species billions of years your senior. But with great power comes great responsibility, a responsibility you were not prepared for." The ambassador went on to explain how the displaced scout ships had caused ripples across parallel dimensions, leading to diplomatic incidents and even small-scale conflicts between versions of their civilization that had never meant to interact. However, Zorax continued, a note of admiration creeping into his voice. "We cannot ignore the potential of your species. The Galactic Confederation is willing to offer Earth membership, but on one condition." The room held its breath as the ambassador paused for effect. "You must work with us to refine your quantum veil technology. Together, we can turn it from a source of chaos into a tool for unprecedented exploration and peacekeeping across the multiverse." The chamber erupted into murmurs and exclamations. Samantha felt her head spin at the implications. Earth, a member of a galactic civilization, working alongside aliens to perfect their most advanced technology. As debates broke out among the world leaders, Dr. Tanaka burst into the chamber, out of breath and clutching a data pad. "Dr. Chen, Dr. Novak," he called out, "we've done it. We've established communication with one of the displaced scout ships." All eyes, human and alien alike, turned to the excited scientist. Zorak's eyes widened with interest. "Perhaps," the ambassador said, "this is an opportunity to demonstrate your species' capability for innovation and cooperation. Dr. Tanaka, would you be willing to share your findings with our scientists?" As Tanaka nodded enthusiastically, Samantha realized that this was humanity's moment to shine. They had stumbled into a cosmic crisis of their own making, but now they had a chance to turn it into humanity's greatest triumph. The next few hours were a whirlwind of scientific exchange and diplomatic negotiations. Human and alien scientists huddled over holographic displays, excitedly discussing quantum theories and multidimensional mathematics. World leaders debated the pros and cons of joining the Galactic Confederation, weighing the potential benefits against the loss of some autonomy. As the day wore on, a consensus began to emerge. Earth would accept the offer of membership, commit to working on refining the quantum veil technology, and assist in the safe return of the displaced scout ships. As the final agreements were being drawn up, Ambassador Zorax approached Samantha, Novak, and Tanaka. "Your species continues to surprise us," the alien said, a hint of what might have been a smile playing across its shimmering features. "We look forward to seeing what other wonders humanity will bring to the cosmos." Samantha felt a surge of pride and hope. They had faced the unknown, owned up to their mistakes, and turned a potential disaster into an opportunity for growth and cooperation. As she looked out at the mix of humans and aliens working together, she knew that this was just the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure. The day Earth joined the galactic community would be remembered for generations to come. And as the sun set on this historic day, Samantha Chen, Victor Novak, and Yuki Tanaka stood together, marveling at the incredible journey that had begun with a simple disappearing act. Little did they know, their adventures in quantum diplomacy were only just beginning, and the true test of humanity's place in the cosmos was yet to come. In the weeks following Earth's dramatic entry into the Galactic Confederation, the planet buzzed with a mixture of excitement, apprehension, and feverish activity. The revelation of alien life and Earth's newfound cosmic status had sent shockwaves through every facet of human society. Dr. Samantha Chen found herself at the heart of this whirlwind, splitting her time between working on the Quantum Veil Refinement Project and acting as Earth's scientific liaison to the Confederation. Today, she stood in the newly established Galactic Embassy in Geneva, preparing for a crucial meeting. "Dr. Chen," a melodic voice called out. She turned to see Zarek, a young Arcturian scientist assigned to the joint research team. His crystalline skin shimmered as he approached, data tablet in hand. "I've been analyzing the latest test results. There's something odd about the quantum fluctuations." Samantha frowned, taking the tablet. As she scrolled through the data, her concern grew. The quantum veil's effects were becoming increasingly unpredictable, creating micro-tears in the fabric of spacetime. Before she could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Emergency holograms flickered to life, displaying a chaotic scene unfolding in Earth's orbit. "Attention all personnel," an AI voice announced. "Multiple unidentified vessels have appeared in Earth's orbit. Quantum signatures match those of displaced Confederation scout ships." Samantha's heart raced. The ships they had inadvertently sent to parallel dimensions were somehow finding their way back, and not all of them seemed friendly. As she rushed to the command center, she nearly collided with Dr. Novak and Ambassador Zorax, both wearing expressions of grave concern. "This is unprecedented," Zorax stated, multifaceted eyes fixed on the orbital displays. "These ships are from parallel timelines where our first contact went differently." On the screens, they watched as some of the returned ships engaged peacefully with Earth's defense grid, while others opened fire, clearly viewing Earth as a hostile entity. "We need to contain this now," Novak said urgently. "If these alternate timeline incursions continue, it could lead to a full-scale multiversal conflict." Samantha's mind raced. "The quantum veil," she breathed. "We could use it to create a dimensional barrier around Earth, preventing further incursions." Zorax nodded slowly. "It's risky, but it might be our only option. Dr. Chen, you'll need to reconfigure the veil from a localized effect to a planetary-scale shield." As Samantha and her team worked feverishly to modify the quantum veil, reports flooded in from around the globe. Temporal anomalies were appearing in major cities, glimpses of alternate Earths bleeding through the weakened fabric of reality. In New York, people watched in awe as a version of their city where the Dutch never ceded control shimmered into view. In Beijing, skyscrapers flickered between their current form and strange bioorganic structures from a timeline where technology took a vastly different path. The situation in orbit continued to deteriorate. The peaceful scout ships, grateful to return home, joined Earth's defenses, but they were outnumbered by their hostile counterparts, whose weapons were evolved beyond anything Earth or their Confederation allies had encountered. As the battle raged above, Samantha's team raced against time. Dr. Tanaka's fingers flew over holographic controls, making minute adjustments to the quantum field generators. Zalek provided crucial insights into stabilizing the larger field, his Arcturian understanding of higher dimensional physics proving invaluable. "We're ready," Samantha announced, her voice tight with tension. "But there's a catch. Once we activate the planetary shield, all non-Earth originated objects in our orbit will be pushed out. We'll be cut off from our allies." Ambassador Zorax straightened, a look of determination crossing their alien features. "Then we shall remain here, on Earth's surface. Our fates are now intertwined. Dr. Chen, activate the shield." With a nod to her team, Samantha initiated the sequence. The air hummed with energy as the quantum veil expanded, enveloping the entire planet in a shimmering, barely visible field. The effect was immediate and awe-inspiring. The hostile ships in orbit flickered and vanished, shunted back to their own realities. The temporal anomalies on the surface stabilized and faded. Earth was safe, but also isolated in a way it had never been before. As the dust settled, Samantha stood with Novak, Tanaka, Zorax, and Zarek, watching the holographic display of their shielded planet. "We've bought ourselves time," Novak said quietly, "but at what cost? We're cut off from the rest of the Confederation, from the galaxy itself." Zorax placed a shimmering hand on Novak's shoulder. "Not cut off, Dr. Novak, merely quarantined. This is a chance for humanity to reflect, to truly prepare itself for its place in the cosmic community." Samantha nodded slowly, her mind already racing with the challenges and possibilities ahead. "We'll need to find a way to stabilize the multiversal tiers, to ensure we can lower the shields safely when the time comes. And we'll need to be ready for what we find when we do," Tanaka added. "The multiverse has been shaken. Who knows what changes our actions have wrought across realities?" As the group dispersed to begin tackling these monumental tasks, Samantha lingered, gazing at the image of Earth, now wrapped in a protective quantum cocoon. They had saved their world from immediate destruction, but the real work was just beginning. Humanity, in its quest for protection, had stumbled into a cosmic drama beyond imagination. Now, isolated but not alone, they would need to muster every ounce of their legendary ingenuity, adaptability, and determination. For in this moment of crisis, Earth had become more than just a planet. It was now a multiversal fulcrum, a linchpin in the cosmic balance, and its people would need to rise to the occasion to prove that humanity truly deserved its place among the stars. As Samantha turned to leave, ready to face the challenges ahead, she couldn't help but smile. After all, if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was beating the odds. The real test of humanity's potential was about to begin, and she had a feeling they were going to surprise the universe once again. 6 months had passed since Earth activated its planetary quantum veil shield, isolating itself from the rest of the galaxy and the multiverse. Inside this shimmering bubble, humanity and their stranded alien allies worked tirelessly to understand and control the cosmic forces they had unwittingly unleashed. Dr. Samantha Chen stood in the newly constructed Nexus Control Center, a state-of-the-art facility built into the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Holographic displays surrounded her, showing real-time data on the quantum shield's stability and the ongoing efforts to repair the multiversal tears. Dr. Chen, a voice called. She turned to see Dr. Yuki Tanaka approaching, his usual excited energy somewhat subdued. "We've completed the latest analysis of the shield's quantum signature. It's not good." Samantha's heart sank as she reviewed the data. The quantum veil was becoming increasingly unstable, its energy patterns fluctuating in ways they hadn't anticipated. "If this continues," she murmured, "the shield could collapse, leaving Earth vulnerable to incursions from every parallel reality we've affected." Before Tanaka could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Red warning lights flashed as the main screen lit up with an incoming transmission. "This is Ambassador Zorax," the alien's voice crackled through, distorted but urgent. "We're detecting massive energy buildups at multiple points around the globe. It appears that parallel versions of Earth are attempting to break through the veil." Samantha's mind raced. They had always known this was a possibility, but they had hoped to have more time to prepare. "Where are the breach points?" she demanded. As if in answer, the global hologram lit up with pulsing red markers. New York, Beijing, Moscow, Cairo, and Rio de Janeiro all showed signs of imminent quantum incursions. "We need to activate the Nexus protocol." Dr. Victor Novak's voice cut in as he strode into the control center, his face grim with determination. "It's the only way to stabilize the shield and prevent a full-scale multiversal collision." The Nexus protocol was their last-ditch effort, a risky plan to use Earth's unique position as a multiversal fulcrum to redirect and harmonize the conflicting quantum energies. But it required precise coordination and came with no guarantee of success. "Agreed," Samantha nodded. "Alert all Nexus sites. We're initiating the protocol." As the order went out, the control center erupted into a flurry of activity. Scientists and technicians from a dozen species worked in perfect harmony, their differences set aside in the face of this cosmic threat. At each of the 5 breach points, specially designed quantum resonators hummed to life. These massive structures, built in secret over the past months, were Earth's best hope for survival. In New York, Dr. Tanaka oversaw the activation of the North American resonator. The Statue of Liberty glowed with an otherworldly light as quantum energy coursed through its upgraded structure. Beijing's resonator, integrated into the Great Wall, sent ripples of energy across the ancient stonework. Dr. Ling Mei, Earth's leading expert in quantum harmonics, carefully calibrated the device to match the fluctuations of the incoming breach. In Moscow's Red Square, a team led by Dr. Dmitry Volkov worked feverishly to align their resonator with the others. The Kremlin's spires crackled with quantum energy, holding back the tide of alternate realities threatening to pour through. Cairo's resonator, hidden within the Great Pyramid, pulsed with power as Dr. Amora Hassan coordinated with her global counterparts. The ancient wonder, once a tomb for pharaohs, now stood as a bulwark against cosmic chaos. And in Rio de Janeiro, the Christ the Redeemer statue served as the anchor for the South American resonator. Dr. Carlos Silva, sweat beading on his brow, made minute adjustments to keep the energy flow stable. Back in the Nexus Control Center, Samantha watched as data streamed in from all 5 sites. Energy harmonization at 60% and climbing, she announced. We're making progress, but the incursions are still intensifying. Suddenly, the main screen flickered, showing a cacophony of images from the breach points. In New York, a version of the city where the sky was perpetually on fire threatened to bleed through. Beijing's alternate reality showed a world where technology had fused with organic life. Moscow faced a timeline where the Cold War had gone hot, its parallel buildings still bearing the scars of nuclear devastation. Harmonization at 75%, Novak called out, "We need to push it higher." As they worked, Samantha couldn't help but marvel at the scene before her. Humans and aliens working side by side to save not just Earth, but the very fabric of reality itself. This, she realized, was humanity at its best, innovative, determined, and unbreakable in the face of cosmic challenges. 85%, Tanaka's voice crackled through the comm. The New York breach is starting to stabilize. One by one, the other sites reported similar progress. The quantum incursions began to falter, the alternate realities fading back behind the strengthened veil. 90%, 95%, Samantha held her breath as the numbers climbed. 98%, 99%. For a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, the entire world held its breath. Then, with a final surge of energy, the Nexus protocol reached full harmonization. 100%, Samantha shouted, her voice filled with equal parts relief and disbelief. "We've done it. The veil is stabilizing." Cheers erupted throughout the control center and at Nexus sites around the globe. They had faced the ultimate test and emerged victorious, proving that humanity's place in the cosmic order was well earned. As the celebration continued around her, Samantha shared a knowing look with Novak and Tanaka. They had won this battle, but the war was far from over. The quantum veil still surrounded Earth, and the challenge of safely reintegrating with the galaxy and the multiverse lay ahead. But for now, in this moment of triumph, Samantha allowed herself to feel the full weight of their accomplishment. Humanity, once a small, isolated species on a tiny blue planet, had become the guardians of multiversal stability. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew they would face them with the same ingenuity, courage, and unity that had saved them today. As the holographic display showed the shimmering, now stable quantum veil surrounding Earth, Samantha Chen smiled. The next chapter of humanity's cosmic adventure was about to begin, and she couldn't wait to see where it would lead. In the year following the activation of the Nexus Protocol, Earth had transformed into a hub of unprecedented scientific and cultural exchange. The quantum shield, once a barrier of isolation, now served as a stable foundation for humanity's next great leap. Dr. Samantha Chen stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Harmonic Station, a massive orbital platform that served as both a research facility and Earth's first true spaceport. Below her, the blue marble of Earth shimmered behind the gossamer veil of quantum energy. Remarkable, isn't it? Ambassador Zorax's melodic voice broke through her reverie. The alien diplomat joined her at the window, their multifaceted eyes reflecting the starscape beyond. Your species has achieved in months what many civilizations take millennia to accomplish. Samantha nodded, a mix of pride and humility washing over her. We've had some help, she replied, glancing at the diverse crew of humans and aliens working in perfect synchrony throughout the station. The conversation was interrupted by an urgent call from the command center. Dr. Chen, Ambassador, the voice of Dr. Novak crackled through the comm. We're detecting a massive quantum surge. I think it's the Confederation. Heart racing, Samantha rushed to the command center with Zorax close behind. The main view screen showed a swirling vortex of energy forming just beyond the quantum shield's perimeter. They found a way to pierce the veil, Dr. Tanaka exclaimed, his fingers flying over the holographic controls. But it's stable. They're not forcing their way through. They're harmonizing with it. As they watched in awe, a massive ship emerged from the vortex. Its sleek design incorporated elements of a dozen different alien architectures, a testament to the united effort of the Galactic Confederation. "This is Grand Admiral Tylo of the Confederation Peacekeeping Force." A deep, resonant voice boomed through the station's speakers. "Earth, we've come to bring you home." The next few hours were a flurry of activity as Earth's leaders and the stranded alien diplomats prepared for the reunion. In the Harmonic Station's grand conference room, holographic representatives from every nation on Earth gathered alongside their extraterrestrial counterparts. Grand Admiral Tylo, a towering being with skin like shifting nebulae, addressed the assembly. "People of Earth, honored allies, we've spent the past year searching for a way to safely reintegrate your world into the galactic community. What we found astonished us." The Admiral gestured, and a complex holographic model of the quantum shield appeared. "Your Nexus protocol didn't just save Earth, it created a blueprint for multiversal stability. The technology you've developed here could revolutionize travel and communication across realities." Murmurs of excitement rippled through the crowd. Samantha felt a swell of pride. Humanity's desperate gambit had paid off beyond their wildest dreams. However, Tylo continued, their tone growing serious, "This power comes with great responsibility. The Confederation has agreed that Earth should take a leading role in this new era of multiversal exploration and peacekeeping. But the choice, ultimately, is yours." President Kira Espinosa of the newly formed Earth Unity Council stepped forward. "Admiral, honored representatives of the Confederation," she began, her voice steady and clear, "humanity accepts this responsibility. We've learned much during our isolation, about ourselves, about the true nature of cooperation, and about our place in the cosmos." She paused, looking around the room at the faces of humans and aliens alike. "We're ready to rejoin the galactic community not just as members, but as partners in shaping a better future for all sentient beings across all realities." The room erupted in applause and expressions of approval from a dozen different species. As the formal ceremonies began, ratifying Earth's new status and outlining plans for sharing the Nexus technology, Samantha found herself pulled aside by Ambassador Zorax. "Dr. Chen," the alien said, their voice filled with what Samantha had learned to recognize as deep emotion. "When we first discovered your quantum veil experiments, many in the Confederation feared the worst. They saw humanity as reckless, potentially catastrophic in their ignorance." Zorax's eyes shimmered with an inner light. "But you've proven them wrong at every turn. Your species' ability to innovate, to unite in the face of adversity, to turn potential disaster into triumph, it's nothing short of miraculous." Samantha felt a lump form in her throat. "We couldn't have done it without you, without all of our allies who stood by us." Perhaps, Zorax conceded, but it was humanity's spirit that truly made the difference. "You've earned your place among the stars, Dr. Chen, and I, for one, cannot wait to see what you'll accomplish next." As they rejoined the celebration, Samantha's mind raced with the possibilities that lay ahead. Earth was about to become the nexus of a new age of multiversal exploration and cooperation. The challenges would be immense, but so too would the opportunities. Humanity had faced its greatest test and emerged not just victorious, but transformed. They had proven themselves worthy of their place in the cosmic tapestry, ready to weave new threads of discovery, innovation, and unity across the very fabric of reality itself. As the first ships prepared to depart Earth's quantum shield, carrying human and alien explorers to distant stars and undiscovered dimensions, Samantha Chen smiled. The vanishing alien fleets that had once puzzled and frightened them had led to humanity's greatest triumph. And this, she knew, was only the beginning of their grand cosmic adventure. The stars, the galaxies, and now even the multiverse itself awaited humanity's touch. And as Earth took its first steps into this brave new era, the entire cosmos held its breath, eager to see what wonders this young, ingenious species would unveil next.